All right, so I've ran out of booster boxes to talk about. Well, the core booster boxes, and now I'm gonna talk about the deck building sets. Now we have a bunch of like these good booster sets, like Dark Savior is pretty good for Sky Strikers. We have like Secret Slayers recently that was really good, and then there's a couple of decent stuff. We have like Invoked and the Fusion Enforcers, but yeah, let's start off with the first set. That is the Secret Forces. Secret Forces was, I can already say this is like an S tier set, right? I'm pretty sure like Dark Saviors is like unarguably S tier. Like even looking at the reprints is like S tier. So you had Yosenju's, you had Necros, and then you had Ritual Beasts, which were all decently like Yosenju's and Ritual Beasts were. Well, Ritual Beast was like meta somewhat. It was like tier two, tier three, but like Necros is just way better. So the reason why Ritual Beast was like not that good was just because of Necros. It wasn't because it was bad. It's just Necros. Yes, NGs are solid. Yeah, out of content, Andy. No, not out of content. But Yosenju's is pretty good. It has some regional tops. I think it has like I think maybe a Wythius top. If not, maybe it has a lot of regional tops. I know that for sure. It has a lot of regional. Yosenju's, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm tripping, but I'm pretty sure Yosenju's. They're a pretty decent deck at the time, or at least not when Necros is tier zero. Obviously, Necros tier zero deck, really good deck. One of the first ritual decks that did good. The other one being Demise OTK, which is a pretty good deck. You have some reprints like Maju was a really good reprint. Armageddon Knight, obviously, like it wasn't that good at the time, but it was a decent reprint. Karkardi wasn't that good. Twist Dweller being super rare is like a decent reprint, I guess. Some of the ritual stuff was like probably gonna be expensive, so reprinting them pretty good. Then you have Vanny's Emptiness, which is a really good reprint. Tanky being a really good reprint, and I think this is a rarity upgrade because it was only like maybe it was like a secret rare in the, or not a secret rare, a super rare in the special edition, the Cosmo Blazer special. It was like a Fire Fist special edition, and like Tenki was a super rare. So I guess having another super rare was like decent. Road Decree is like a decent reprint, I guess. But yeah, this set had some good stuff. So I mean, like Necros already puts this set up to like tier like A, but like the Yosenju's and like Ritual Beast being like decent solid decks, like it's already S tier, right? Don't even have to talk about the Secret Forces that much. It's just like an S tier set, to be honest. So yeah, next set. What comes after this? I don't have, I have no clue. I think High Speed Riders is next. High Speed Riders are um are next. Yeah, High Speed Riders right here. High Speed Riders. This has Speedroids. This has Archfiends, and this has Cypher. With Speedroids didn't really do that much. They're not, except Terratop. Terratop's like a god card. Probably the only good card in the set. I guess Taketombo works somewhat because they go together, but not really. There's some new cards from this set. I don't even remember what's new from the Resonator stuff. Like Red Eyes Wyvern or Red Wyvern. It's trash. I mean, obviously Gamma and like all these side frames are pretty. Like Gamma's like the best one, but like I guess Driver sucks, but you need it. Zeta and Omega were pretty good. Like Omega's probably like the best one out of this set. Omega, Take Tomborg, and Terratop were like good at the time. Gamma wasn't popular until like a year later, like 2 years later. Like this card didn't see play until like Spiral format, right? Pretty sure it was like it was something like that. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss was like a good card. Bane. Didn't really see play. Did Stardust Spark Dragon and Black Rose Moonlight Dragon come out in this set? I don't even remember. I think these are like promos. Yeah, these were like promos. Like the packs. What are they called? The what is that thing called? V Jump? It's not V Jump. It's called something else. Shonen Jumps. I think these are Shonen Jump promos. And then like the reprints were not really that good. Trishula was like a good reprint though. Italy was a really good reprint at the time. I guess MST reprint is not bad either. Before it got power crap. This set is honestly like, I mean, side frames or whatever archetype. The red resonator shit or resonator stuff was garbage. The only thing I saw play was like Bane or not Bane, Abyss. And then like the Speedway stuff, Terratop was obviously good, but like the Speedway stuff didn't really do anything. So it's like a C tier set. Where is it? Where is this garbage set? I don't even know what it looks like. I think it's this set. Yeah, I think this. It's like a D. It's like a D. Maybe a C, but like a D. I'll put it in D for now. Set was not good. No Speedway gameplay tonight. We'll get to Speedway gameplay. All right, next set was Wing Raiders. This set was impactful because it had PKs, obviously. PKs. These are BA cards. Dante Mule 3. But Cloak, Boots, Ragged Gloves, all really good cards. Break Sword was the XYZ boss monster, really good. Fog Blade, good. These cards are decent like now, but that's because of like Bardiche and the pure build. And it like protects your monsters. This is also really good in like the stun decks, like Barrier Stun and Tribute Stun. These cards are like pretty good. So like the Ray Raptor part was like really, really good. Like almost all of the PK stuff was good. Then we have Ray Raptors. Ray Raptors were a flop. Ray Raptors were a pure flop. Like Soul Shave is like decent now because of the Link Monster. Forstrix is decent. It was decent, like it was like really good in Moonlight format. But like at the time, the Ray Raptor stuff really didn't do anything. Ultimate Falcon was like, is it even in this set? No, Ultimate Falcon's not even in this set. Never mind. So, yeah, the Ray Raptor stuff just wasn't good. And then like the Super Quantum stuff, Super Quantum saw play, but not really as a deck. It saw some play as the deck, but it was mainly just an engine. Like Red Layer was a really good card, Blue Layer was really good. In Extra Deck Monarchs, these two saw play. And obviously, Grand Pulse was like really good because it was a rank 3. And PKs was out, so like a rank 3 deck needs a good solid rank 3 that deals with back row. And Grand Pulse was the best one. If you want to play a shitty Alia card, which it got power crept by this card. And then like the other XYZs were like pretty decent. Like this one was made in like rank 5 decks. The Extra Deck Monarch deck, I think, played this card. Great Magnus is like a reason why people started playing Kaijus, but I guess, but was impactful. Then some reprints like I guess Harpy Harpus is decent. Cowboy, Key Beetle, 101, Alucard. Alucard, why did they reprint this card? It got power crap. Carnegorian was like really good. MST is always a good reprint. Chalice, Reinforcement of the Army, Bottomless. It's like a decent set. PKs obviously carried the set. But the Super Quantum stuff was like pretty decent. I'm gonna put this in like B tier. I don't think it's like A tier because like the PKs really carried the set. But it was like a B tier set, to be honest. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. It's kind of in the middle, but a little bit above average than like Bravo deck. I used to love Super Quantums too, though. But I wouldn't say the deck was like anywhere near competitive. It was like decent. The next set is Destiny Soldiers. This had obviously Destiny Heroes. It had Destiny Heroes, Dark Lords, and what was the other one? I don't remember the other deck from here. Is it Vision Heroes? I don't know. It's another hero deck. Destiny Heroes. Obviously, the Destiny Heroes weren't that good. These were dueling stacks. This is like this is dueling stuff. I mean, Dynatax sees play now. Dynastopia sees play now in like hero decks, but these are all like they're hero cards. They suck. Malicious reprint is decent, I guess. Um, yeah, the Destiny heroes just suck. Oh, Abyss Actors. Oh, this is a relevant archetype. These were also trash. I mean, Wild Hope saw play, but you only saw playing like Metal Foes decks when Electromite was out. So like already this set is looking very trash. The last archetype in this set was Dark Lord. And Dark Lords are like they have some regional tops. They did something, but like for the most part, this is another Duel Links deck. It's literally a Duel Links deck. And then we had some decent reprints. Like Dark Hole reprint, I guess is solid. Allure of Darkness is like a really good reprint. Um, I guess Archler Christia was like a decent reprint. Shaden's always a good reprint. And then like yeah, got some solid reprints. Dark Lord's wasn't that bad, but the rest of the set is terrible. I almost want to give this a D tier, but it's not like three unplayable archetypes out of the gate. Like Dark Lords were at least playable, so I'm just gonna give it like a D. Because Dark Lords were decent at the time. They weren't unplayable. They weren't terrible, but this set was terrible. Honestly, it wasn't that. Next set is Fusion Enforcers. Now, this is infamous for being the Alistair set, but you also have Predaplants and you also have Fluffles. So you have the Predaplant stuff, Predaplants. Pretty sure the good ones are not in the set, like Orpha Scorpio and the other ones. So like, um, yeah, Chimera Flesia. This card is seeing play in Dogma stuff, but like, yeah, like the Protoplant stuff is terrible. Fluffles. I mean, they were decent. They weren't anything good at the time. They were like rogue at best, but like even then, like they were kind of like Zodiacs at this point were like, yeah, Zodiacs were just like too broken. Like this didn't matter. Like Raging Tempest was out before this. Yeah, this came out like 2 months, or not 2 months, 2 weeks after Raging Tempest. And Raging Tempest is like an S tier set. There's nothing topping that set, really. Unless you have something crazy. And Fluffles is not it. But Alistair did come out in this set in all of its fusion monsters. Which all of the fusion monsters are pretty like all of them see play, really. Alistair, Caliga, Raijin, Cockatoo doesn't see play, but it's still play in Duel Links, so does that count? I don't know. Purgatrio was good. I think this was like decent back when like Zodiacs was a thing because they were all Earth, but it's not really that good. Merkaba, the best one. Elysium saw play at the time. Magical Meltdown obviously really good. Invocation obviously really good. Need to sell my copies, but then you had some small stuff like Fusion Sub 2 was like a really decent reprint. It saw play because of Zodiac. And Instant Fusion also saw play in Zodiacs. Summer Monk's like a decent reprint, I guess. Phoenix Wing Moonblast, always like a decent trap card. Poly, I guess. There's like some decent reprints, but like the main thing carrying this set is like the Invoke stuff. It wasn't really that good of a set besides like the Invoke stuff. I mean, the Fluffles were decent. I'm gonna give this like a C, maybe a B tier. maybe like a B tier. I don't know. I don't think Wing. I don't think they compare. Like Invoke really carried this set. And I guess the reprints maybe were, like really decent. Like Instant Fusion. Wing Raider is just it just was. I mean, Fusion of Forces just wasn't a good set. Not because maybe I should take in consideration that like Raging Tempest was out. Obviously, Zodiacs were tier 0, and that probably made this set worse than it was. So I'm just gonna put this in B tier, just because like there's nothing topping Raging Tempest. Like that set was super good. It had like so many good cards. Besides, even like taking out the Zodiac cards, there were still really solid cards in that set. So I'm just gonna put it in B tier because at the time, like you can't top Raging Tempest. Next one up is what? Yeah, Spirit Warriors. Is there one between that? I guess Pendulum Evolution is not on here, but if I was to give Pendulum Evolution a rating, because this was a structure deck, right? This is a structure deck. Um, I'd give this maybe like a A tier if I had to put this on the list because it's a deck building set, but it wasn't like it's not classified as a deck building set because it was a structure deck in the OCG. So probably give this like an A tier. It's a really good set. It reprinted a lot of expensive pendulum cards, and it had a tier 1 to tier 0 deck because you had the 2017 build, which was just like Master Rule for pendulums, and then you had Electromite, which Electromite just made the deck like tier 0. But yeah, I'd probably give it like an A, maybe like an S tier, maybe depending. And then Spirit Warriors. This set was terrible. Not gonna lie, it had 6 samurais, it had magic bullets, and it had weather painters. The 6 samurai stuff was decent, but I'm pretty sure Gateway was banned at the time. Maybe it went to 1 at some point, but yeah, the 6 samurai stuff. I mean, like the Rongo Bongo stuff that got at a few regional tops is like pretty decent, but yeah, Gambus all playing like Inferno Wolves, I guess. Besides that, like yeah, 6 samurai is just like let's keep it back in like keep 6 samurais in 2010 and 2007, please. Magical Musketeers, this is a flop. This had so much high hope. Shout out to Lithium, but yeah, this deck was kind of trash. It saw some play at the competitive level, but it really didn't scratch anything. It almost got top 32. I'm pretty sure. Never really saw that much play, to be honest. And then we have Weather Painters, which I think this has like a 2 or 3 maybe tops at the regional level, but this wasn't it, Chief. This set wasn't it. This is probably the first F tier set, but maybe it's like D tier. What's like a F tier set? I don't know what's F tier. It's like I'd say this is like a F tier set. Let's not give. No, we're going harsh. This is an F tier set. No one cares about Magical Musketeers getting like a few regional tops or 6 samurai. F tier set. All right, 2018. Dark Saviors. Hot take. This ain't no S tier set. All right. It has an S tier archetype, but is it really S tier because of the S tier archetype? I don't know. It had vampires, fair hires, and sky strikers, obviously. But no one ever remembers vampires, or they always like they don't remember fair hires and they don't remember vampires. All they remember from this set is the sky striker. Which, if you only look at the sky striker stuff, this is an S tier set. It also has some decent reprints, obviously. And Armageddon Knight, Plague Spreader, Dark Grepher, Toon Table of Contents, Storm 4. It was another good reprint. Allure, Reinforcement, I guess Scapegoat as well. Force Burial Goods, I guess Mirror Force is a decent card. And like Magical Citadel of Endymion. These are all like decent reprints. Weather Painters are a boom. Strikers, people, yeah. Striker, everybody loves Striker, and they're like, Striker made the set like S tier, but like, you can't just look at the Sky Strikers and be like, oh, this is an S tier set. You have to look at the set as a whole. The set as a whole was garbage, except the Sky Strikers. Sky Strikers, obviously, tier 0 deck, not tier 0, tier 1 deck for a long, long, long time. Even as an engine, it was good. I guess if you count Orca Sky Strikers, that was like an almost tier 0 deck. Pretty much. So, like, yeah, Sky Strikers S tier. But I think this is like a top A tier set. It's not S tier. It's definitely not S tier. Like, you have to look at the set as a whole. Can't really call like there's literally 0 cards that saw play from the Vampire and for her archetype. Like, none of them are good. Not even as an engine they were good. Maybe like the XYZ was like decent, but like not really. Sky Strikers it carries the set to like an A tier, but not S tier. It's not, you can't say like Secret Forces, which had not only Necros, but it had Ritual Beast and Yosenju that were like really good. But obviously Necros was tier 0, which was gonna really wear down like the representation of both Yosenjus and Ritual Beast. So this is like an S tier set. Like, all 3 really, decent playable archetypes. Dark Saviors. After that is, I guess, Shadows and Valhalla's next, because it's another TCG exclusive archetype. I probably should put both of these sets on here. It's like like, it'd probably be in like D tier. Like, what's in here? Ninjas. Let's look at it real quick. Let's look at it real quick. Oh yeah, I have Valkyrie stuff. Obviously, Ninjas, Valkyries, and what else? Oh, it has some decent reprints, actually. Yeah, Twin Twisters as a secret rare, Shaddoll Fusion, Akashic Magician, Winda, Seraphonite, Ash Blossom, Ice Bell, Invocation Meltdown. Yeah, it has some good reprints, but the ninjas and I also had Azathoth, actually. Maybe this set, Champ. This set might be like maybe B or A tier. I think the ninjas and Valkyrie stuff really put this. Yeah, these cards are terrible, but like the rest of the cards, pretty solid. Good in Duel Links. Let's not talk about Duel Links, but I'll probably put them in S tier. You know what? After I put all of these other decks here, I'm probably gonna rank the other sets that I missed. But I missed them because they are TCG archetypes. They're not really deck building sets, technically, but because there are TCG exclusive archetypes and they're technically deck building sets because they have archetypes in them, and then like a few other cards like reprints. It's technically one, but going by the OCG, it's not a deck building set because it just wasn't a set in the OCG. But yeah, the next set is Hidden Summoners, right? Hidden Summoners. Pretty sure this is like, it had Memphis. It had, what else? Shiranui. And then what? Prankids. Prankids obviously now a tier 1 deck, but I guess it did get a YCS win, which I guess does make the set a lot better than it was. Oh, it had Mayakashi. Never mind. That has Shiranui. I mean, it has Shiranui cards, but I mean, I guess the set had like good reprints too, like Goes and Rivalry. I guess Recycling Plan is like a decent reprint. Gold Sarcophagus, like a good reprint because Thunder Dragons. Tatsunoko is like a decent reprint, I guess. It's like a couple of dollars when like Inferno was a thing. Now it's just like not that good. Manju's always a good reprint. Thunder Dragon is like a really good reprint for Thunder Dragons, obviously. Phoenix Wing Wind Blast is always a decent reprint. Preparation of Rites is always a decent reprint as well. The reprints in the prank kits might make this like a C tier set, like the first C tier set, and it's mainly just like prank kits and the reprints, just like. Is it better than High Speed Riders? High Speed Riders. No. High Speed Riders is bad. It didn't have any archetypes. It just had like single cards. There's no Roxy's either. 2019. 2019 had what? Infinity Chasers. Ew. This is what set? I don't even remember what this set had. This set had some garbage stuff. Infinite Tracks. Infinite Tracks. It had what? Witchcrafters and EY. It's like an F tier set. I don't have to look at it. Infinite Tracks. I guess they're decent now, but like, and Megaclops 2 is good in like Zodiacs, but not really. Witchcrafter and Evil Eye is it's a Duel Link stack. Not really that good. And then like the reprints were like I guess like Knowledge is like a decent reprint. Like the left and the right hand is decent. Inter Blafnir and Draco's like decent reprints. Jackal King is like a decent reprint. Don't know what to put this at. It's like a F tier set, right? It does nothing. We're really grabbing at straws here to make this set look better. Infinity Chasers F tier set, no doubt about it. Don't even have to look at this set. It's trash. There's no. I already read that. Next up in 2019 was like Mystic Fighters. Oh, Fist of the Gadgets. Is Fist of the Gadgets on here? Oh, it's not tech. See, this is another like not technically a deck building set, but is because it's a TCG exclusive. So we'll add these two afterwards. All right, just give it a second. But let's look at Fist of the Gadgets. Mystic Fighters, the next set. This is a Coomer set. Oh well, not including the Mathmex. Mathmex, they're a decent archetype. Somewhat. They're seeing some play. Not any tops or anything. Not really seeing. They didn't get any like representation. The cards are decent. It's not that good. Dragon Maids are decent. Like they're a little bit better than Mathmex, but Chamber Dragon Maid really carried this deck in the new fusion. So, and Tidying. So I guess the archetype is decent, but the set as a whole was it's not good. And then the generators, they also had some potential. They're like decent. Not really. They even got nerfed by VFD being banned. They got Lopter, which is like a decent card, I guess. But this set it's like man. It has 3 like decent archetypes. Not really that good. I'll say it's like a top of tier D. Maybe top. Nah, it's like top of tier. At least 3 decent archetypes. I think it's better than like some staple cards like Gamma and Terratop. Is it? I think Gamma's like way better. I'd rather have a Gamma and Omega, a Hot Red Dragon, and Archie and Abyss than like these 3 shitty archetypes. So yeah, let's not too carried away. Mystic Fighter's not. What else? 2020 Secret Slayers is already S tier set. This changed the game. It had Adamantivators. Adamantivators tier 0 because Black Dragon was the thing. But Adamantivator, pretty good archetype. All the cards saw play, pretty much, right? I mean, I guess not like Raptide didn't really see play. Dry Guy and Leonite saw some play. Obviously, the good one saw play. Field Spell didn't really see play at all. These kind of saw play in some like pure builds. Signs saw play as well. Like pretty much all the cards saw play at some point. Besides maybe the Field Spell. Then Rika's make this set like I think we just ignore the Rika cards, right? Because at least like there's two good archetypes, and then Rika is just like there has to be a shitty archetype in the set, right? You can't have three broken archetypes in a set. It isn't how it works. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work like that. Because Konami said so. So they had to make this set not as tier 0 as it was. So they put in the Rika cards. Alright, so we ignore the Rika cards, but they're there. Alright? They're there, but we ignore them. Alright? So Rika's not even in the set. They're just filler in the packs for you to not pull like all good cards in your packs. And then like the pack be worth like $10 billion because like every pack you just get a good card. So the Rika cards are there to give you shit in your packs. Then we have Eldritch. Eldritch is the notorious trap deck that is seen play in a lot of different decks. And it's still seen play. So like, all these cards saw play besides like this card, which is shitty. But yeah, all these Eldritch cards saw play. Pretty much. And then, Block Dragon obviously banned, Doki. Lone Fireball is a decent reprint. Upstart Goblin's also a decent reprint. Galaxy Cyclone, some Judgment, the Kokai stuff. Some Miracle Fertilizer is a decent card, and Traptree is like a decent reprint. They already got reprinted in the Megatons. So S tier set, but is it better than the Secret Forces? No, because Rika's is trash. If Rika's was a good deck, then maybe it was better. But the Secret Forces had three really good, decent archetypes at, bad. Yosenju's is way better than Rika. So that's why I'm doing it. I guess they had two impactful archetypes. It's kind of hard to say. Is Secret Slayers better than the Secret Forces? They both had tier 0 decks. Maybe Secret Slayers is better. Would you have two really good archetypes? Two tier 1, tier 0 archetypes? Or would you have one tier 0 archetype? And like a decent rogue deck? Or two decent rogue decks? I think I'd take the two tier 1 archetypes. Also, the Secret Slayers had some decent reprints. It didn't have just like, preparation of rights that was good for like Necroz and Magi that's good for Necroz. It had like actual reprints. Like Judgment, Upstart, I get Galaxy. That's stretching. But I don't know. I think Secret Slayer is a little bit better than. I mean, but these both changed the game. I think Secret Slayer is better, honestly. Hot take. This might be a hot take. I know this might trigger some people that love Necroz or like we're nostalgic about Necroz. But man, Secret Slayer is like it's better as a set. It's better as a set. Don't get triggered, you millennials, or what do you call like the 2015 to 2014 like Arc V Zoomers? I don't even know what to call them. Arc V Zoomers, don't get triggered, but this is like Secret Slayer is better. Next up is Genesis Impact. You guys know the chat knows how I feel about Drytron. Drytron is Bytron. AKA this deck not that good. Alright, Genesis Impact. Genesis Impact had no one remembers this set for Magitus. Like Magitus doesn't even exist in this set. The only Magitus card that's even worth mentioning is Moon Mating. After that, these Magitus cards are garbage. Evil Eye, the Coomer. They're just appealing to the pedophiles and the Coomers. Like, yeah, the Evil Eye, Live Twins, whatever you want to call them, it's decent, I guess, but Then Drytron, his deck kind of sucked. I mean, it's a good archetype, but like it loses to like 500 different side deck cards, like automatically. Like Psycho Reader, GG. Droll, GG. Like you better hope you draw like the Herald cards, the Herald of Orange Light. It got Ben 10, limited, so I guess, and Union Carrier banned. like, man. I guess these are solid reprints as well. B-Cod's a solid reprint. Naruto Ultimate is like a decent reprint for the archetype. Action Force Barrow, Cyber Emergency, all decent reprints. Alistair the Invoker of Madness, like a decent reprint as well, because this card was like $15 to $20 before that. Genesis Impact is like it's like a maybe B tier. Maybe high C. Maybe high C. Nah. You know what? I'm gonna put Fusion and Forces in. Nah, I said I wasn't gonna put Fusion and Forces in C tier. But man, Invoked carried the set. Both of these sets got carried by two archetypes. I think Wing Raiders is just a little bit better than these two sets. To be honest, I don't feel good putting Wing Raiders on the same level as Fusion Enforcers and Genesis Impact. I'm just gonna put this in C tier. You know what? I'm gonna put this in C tier, but I feel bad because Invoked saw play, and it was a really god. You know what? I can't do it. I can't find myself to do it. As much as I hate Invoked, I cannot do that to myself. I think Genesis Impact had a tier 1 deck in it, so it's a little bit better. But like, yeah, Wing Raiders is like a little bit better than both. Right? It's not as good at like Hidden Summoners is not on the same level as Fusion Enforcers or Genesis Impact, even as shitty as they might seem. All right, let's now add the other two sets. What were the 3 sets that I was missing? Yeah, let's add those real quick, chat. So this will give a sneak peek of how I actually make these tier lists. All right, so we go on Google. We type in, what was the first set? Pendulum Evolution. This is like a Evolution Yugipedia. Just look at Yugipedia. Yugipedia. And yeah. You take the pack. Probably need to crop out it, but yeah. You take the pack. And then, well, we have to move this over so I can. Let's do it on this side. We take this, we move it, and we drag it on our desktop. So now I drag it, the picture, and it's there. The next set is, what is it? Shadows of Valhalla. Valhalla. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is too much work. Like, look at all the work I'm doing. This is like literally like search, drag, drop. And then Fist of the Gadgets. Fist of the Gadgets. And now you take a picture of that and you drag it. This is teaching you how to make a tier list 101. Now, because I'm a picky person, I'm gonna crop out the white the white border. I'm not gonna say it, but I was gonna say I hate white spaces or I hate white. I guess. Don't clip that, chat. I mean, it's gonna be in the video anyway, so even if you clip it. But yeah, because I'm a picky person. I'm just gonna crop the what you call it, the white spots out. Don't come on, bruh, me. All right, so we're gonna crop. This is what I do. I take the picture. I crop it out. I'm on Mac. I know Mac Omega Law, but gotta do what you gotta do, chat, right? So I take this. I crop out all the white spots because I apparently hate white. So we take that, we crop out all the white space. And see, there we go. Now you just have the pack. You don't have those triggering white spots on the pack. And then same thing for Shiva. Or whatever you call this set. You take the take this and you crop it out. See, look, chat. So easy. So easy. Because I'm just a picky person, chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm doing this, but man, it actually just annoys me. So I just crop it out. And then that should be good. Yeah. And then maybe crop it a little bit more. And then, yeah, look, crop. No more white spots, chat. And then Figa, which is Fist of the Gadget. You go this, markup, and you crop out the white spots. Move this a little bit over. And it's not going to be perfect cropping. Obviously, it's going to crop out a bit of like the name or something like that, or like a bit of the pack, but it is what it is. I'm just annoyed by it. Now, you do that, and you save it. So now you have all three of these, and now you go to, well, I'm going to have to go to the white mode. I just hate white, apparently. Oh yeah, I forgot to rate Ancient Guardians. I'll do that in a bit, chat. It's kind of weird to rate this deck, though, or this set. So yeah, you go to normal view. You obviously have to go to normal view. You go to edit. And you see, this is the template. This is the cover photo. And this is the set of images for the tier list. And you know what you do? You take the 3 images of the sets, and you drag it here. See, now it's 3 files. And now you go to save or submit. And guess what, chat? Boom! Now all 3 of the sets are here. Or I guess the sets that were, yeah, these are supposed to be in F tier. So yeah, now we are back, chat. We are back in presentation mode. And now we can now rate these other 3 sets. So let's go back to these sets, chat. The first one was Pendulum Evolution, right? Pendulum Evolution was 2017. Pendulum Evolution. Now, I said it before, this set had all the Pendulum stuff, like all good Pendulum cards. Astrograph, Chronograph, Salt Play, like all these Pendulum cards were really good. I guess Dharma is like bad. Like, it had Soul Combat Joker, it had Archer Eccentric, Ariana Grande, whatever you want to call this card, Hamster, like all your good Pendulum cards. The Ade stuff, the Pendulum Call, some Zephyr stuff that, you know, it got a rarity boost. Bismugear got a rarity boost. All these Metalfoe stuff. Scout and Monolith. You know, just all good Pendulum cards got reprinted in the set. And then you obviously have the tier 1 to tier 0 deck that was Magician Pendulum. So it's like an A tier set. It's not as good as something like... It was supposed to be a structure deck. I can't even count. I don't even want to count this set that much. It's not better than Dark Saviors, because Dark Saviors... I mean, this set had like 1 good archetype. I don't know. It's kind of weird to even rate this as like a deck building set, but it technically is by just looking at it. It is like you're building pendulums. But yeah, it should have been a structure deck, so it's even kind of weird just even rating it. Next up is Shadows in Valhalla. Shadows in Valhalla. The 2 archetypes that were in here were bad, but like all of the imports and the reprints were like really good. Like even like the small stuff like Megalo and like Teus. I know Mermail player is somewhat biased, but yeah, you have some. Yeah, Twin Twister, Gateway to Chaos was like a expensive card. Shaddoll Fusion, obviously really good now because now you have a high rarity Shaddoll Fusion. Akashic Magician is like a decent reprint, I guess. Shaddoll Winda, Seraphonite, Ash Blossom, Ice Bell's like a good rarity upgrade. Apex Avion's like a good, decent reprint. Invocation, Meltdown, Merkaba, Invoker. Any other decent? I guess like these small stuff. I mean, they were expensive, kind of somewhat, but you know they were needed reprints, I guess. And then like Azathoth was like really good. Narla and Azathoth were like really good for like Orcus Lunalight. So like the newer stuff were like pretty bad, but like the imports and the thing kind of carry this set. So it's like I'd say Shadows in Valhalla was like B tier, maybe like a little bit better than Fusion Enforcers. Is it really? I said I wasn't gonna go harsh on Fusion Enforcers, but like, yeah, Shadows in Valhalla just has like the good stuff of Invoked, and also has some good reprints. So maybe it's a little bit better than this. I don't think it's better than Drytron. Drytron's it was a tier 1 deck, but it was like the worst tier 1 deck ever. It's hot take. All right, now next one was what? Fist of the Gadgets, not Rising Rampage, not Rising Rampage. We already rated this set. This set was trash. We already came to the conclusion that this set was trash. Fist of the Gadgets. Now, Fist of the Gadgets. I don't even remember what's in the set. It's like some True Draco stuff. I don't even remember like the new cards from the set. Like the gadget stuff with like whatever. Fire Fist stuff. Man, I said that I had so much high hopes for this set or this archetype. On paper, they're good cards, but they just don't do anything. It's like the Fur Hire like syndrome, as in like the negates they don't destroy. Like this card only negates. Why? I mean this is like Fire Fist reminds me a lot of Six Samurai. They do a lot of nothing. Even though like like Six Samurai is a little bit better than Fire Fist. Six Samurai actually puts up negates. They have like Shien and Great Shogun Shien, and they have the infinite loop combo. But like, it just kind of reminds me of Six Samurais. Just like a lot worse. I'd rather play Six Samurais than this. It's garbage. It's trash. Decent reprints, but trash. And then what else is in here? Like the arching stuff. Like who cares about this shit, man? And then the Code Talker. I can't talk apparently. The Code Talker stuff is like decent, but they never got they never got the good cards. Like Sonic Conflict is like decent, I guess. I think one of the spells are good. I think this one is decent. Code Radiator, I think, is like decent as well. Prohibit Snake did see some play, so I guess shout out to that card. Code Talker is like decent, I guess. Really digging for straws on this one. Like, I guess like the sub-tier reprints are decent, I guess. Scrap Recycler, I guess. The True Draco stuff, I guess. The Omorphates reprints, I guess. Chronograph Sorcerer, Master Cerberus, and Starving Venom. Yeah, they're like the set was only good for the reprint, and I guess the Code Talker stuff just. I mean, it's decent now, but yeah, the set really digging at straws here to kind of like make the set seem not terrible, but it is terrible. And then lastly, we have Ancient Guardians. It's kind of weird rating this set now, because like obviously we can get like newer cards and like make the set like a lot more worth it than it already is. But just looking at this set, we have the Agodics, which were previously known as Abyss. I think I like Agodic a little bit more. It's a hot take. I like Agodic a little bit more than Abyss. It's kind of weird calling it Abyss. When I think of Abyss, I think of Mermail, or I think of a water deck. I don't think of Reptile. So I think Agodic is pretty decent. Sofa Chords or Agodic as a deck is pretty cool. I think they're pretty decent, but like Dragon Link is just way better. Like, Dragon Link just outperforms any deck that's doing well right now. Arguably, maybe Invoke Shadow is like probably really decent, but even then, like no, Dragon Link is just better. Sofa Chords are like decent, but they kind of need Electromite. I guess the Link Monster does something. I mean, Triff will tell you otherwise. Triff said this is like the second best deck. Let's go, chat. Let's go to not Triff Gaming. It's on Team Samurai X's channel, right? Yeah, let's take a word from Triff. Let's see what Triff says. Triff says this is a tier 1 deck, chat. Is this a tier 1 deck? I don't know about that. Yeah, let's not look at the ad. I will like the.
2.5.
That's it? Tidying?
Tidying. What, bro? Tidying? How about... You ready for a surprise? What? How about Zephyr Divine Strike?
Whoa. That's crazy.
Gates, baby. How's that sound, baby? How's not playing sound? That's it. So that's what the Remy Courts are. The Remy Court is literally better than Endymion. And since Endymion is the best deck now, I don't care what anyone says, Endymion's better than Dragonlink going first, better going second, better versus hand traps.
You heard it here. You heard it here, chat. Sulfur Cores is tier 1. Better than Dragonlink, chat. Better than Dragonlink. He's balding. Okay, you can't talk. Man, why are you talking shit about Triff, man? He's trying to cover it up, chat. He's balding. It's because he's playing Pendulums. Like, if you're playing this shitty deck or this shitty mechanic for that long and saying it's tier 1 for that long, you'll probably go bald at some point. So I understand it, but apparently Sulfur Cores is better than Endymion, which Endymion is like the best deck, better than Dragonlink. So take a word from him. This deck is broken. And then we have Assertix. This is like the only thing I've seen with this deck is like deep sea stuff, and like who gives a shit? Like it's just shittier Mermails. Like come on, man. Like as a Mermail expert, I can't even acknowledge the Arctic deck. If anything, it makes our deck look even more shittier because you're taking the decent cards in our deck, which is the Mermail stuff, and then putting in Earth's Arctic cards. Oh, Megalo. That's all I have to say. And then there's some decent reprints, I guess. Snake Rain. Tradium's like decent. I've always said the card is like a decent reprint. Pinkertops, I guess, but it's limited, so who doesn't have a Pinkertops? Like, Skullmeister's like a decent reprint. This card was like a couple of dollars, I guess. The other reprints are kind of shit. I guess Ignister's like a decent reprint because it just got put to 3. King of the Pharaoh Imps, I guess. I guess it searches the whole archetype of Agodix. This set, I mean, it has 3 decent archetypes. I think it's a little bit better than Mystic Fighters. Yeah, I think it's like top of D tier. Maybe like a C tier. Maybe a little bit better than Hidden Summoners. Like, you can't, maybe not. Is it better than Hidden Summoners? Because Hidden Summoners is so bad. Prank Hits wasn't good until like 2 years later. No, 3, right? Yeah, like 2 years later. Like, can you really count Hidden Summoner as like a decent like set? Like, not really. Like, maybe it was good like a few months after, then maybe it's considered to be like, okay, Print Kids was like a noteworthy tier 1 deck at the time. But like, I don't like this whole like rating a deck based off of, or rating a set based off of like a card like 2 or 3 years down the line. Like, obviously, looking at Invoked was trash compared to Zodiac, and compared to Infernoids, and compared to True Draco, and compared to any of the like the top 5 decks. I guess like all Zodiac variants were like better than Invoked. Like, you can't really look at Invoked from that point of view. Like, you just can't. Like, Genesis Impact, Drytrons were good from the start. That's why they are a B tier set. Phantom Knights were good from the start. That's why they're a B tier set. Like, all of these sets in the C or below, they either are trash or they got good or they got better with like future support. So like, it's kind of weird. Ancient Guardians has potential. Like, I think Godix has the most potential out of the set. But looking at the set right now, not looking too good. Not looking too good. It's like a C. Maybe a little worse. Maybe arguably less than Hidden Summoners because, you know, we know that Prank Kids is now like a tier 1 deck, but at the time, Hidden Summoners was like, they got one YCS win. Also, you have to keep in mind that there's no events. There's events like extravaganzas and stuff like that, but even then, they're not even doing anything in extravaganzas. So there's no YCSs, there's no regionals to even give support to like this. So for now, I'll put it right here below Hidden Summoners. If we do see like a Goldic being like tier 1 or like Silvercord being like a decent rogue deck or something like that, maybe put it over like the C tier, like over Hidden Summoners. But for now, it's like decent. It's like whatever. So yeah, that's the tier list, chat. Any disagreements? I think this is like very, very solid. S tier, Secret Slayers, Secret Forces. Maybe just putting Secret in your name is just like an S tier set. There's no other Secret set, right? Secret, no. And maybe just put Secret. Every time there's a secret word on the pack, it's probably S tier. Probably S tier. So the S tier sets obviously had tier 0 decks. It had Adamantivators in this one. It also had Eldritch, which was tier 1. And then we had Necros, and it also had Ritual Beast and Yos Angels. And then A tier, this is probably a hot take. All the Sky Striker Kumers are probably molding right now. This is an A tier set. Like Sky Strikers carried the set, but because of how bad Vampires and Furhar is an A tier set. Pendulum Evolution is weird to even categorize because it's basically a structure deck with like extra cards. But yeah, it did reprint some good Pendulum cards, but to be honest, the set didn't really need to be a thing. Wing Raiders, but it's an A tier set because it had tier 1 to tier 0 Pendulum Magicians. B tier was, a Wing Raiders because that Phantom Knight. It also had some, super quantum stuff that was like really decent and like as an engine. And, Grand Post was like really decent. It also has some decent reprints as well. So Wing Raiders, really good. Genesis Impact had Drytrons and like Evil Twins, I guess, were like decent. But not really. Mainly just Drytrons really good. Shadows in Valhalla had some terrible cards as TCG exclusives, but as OCG imports and reprints, it had some good cards. So it's like B tier. I think it's like I think Fusion of Force is like a little bit better because at least it had Invoked, but Invoked. I keep going back and forth on this Fusion of Forces. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I think Fusion of Forces is like a little bit better than Shadows in Valhalla. At least they had like a playable archetype, but even then they're just an engine. And then Hidden Summoners, Ancient Guardian. I just went over this. High Speed Riders, they had like Terratop and stuff like that. Gamma, Omega. Emergency Teleport reprint, but besides that, it wasn't really that good. Mystic Fighters, all 3 really decent archetypes, but this wasn't it. Destiny Soldiers, it had like Dark Lords. The other 2 archetypes, like I didn't even know Abyss was in this. Like Abyss Actors was like in this set. I just forgot entirely. That makes the set a lot worse. The Destiny heroes were like it was whatever. And then Dark Lords, they have some regional tops, but that's it. And then these 3 sets are just terrible. You can't argue for these sets not being terrible. Like all 3 trash archetypes, nothing really going for it. Terrible. And that's it, guys. Yeah.